analysis with geopolitical advisor and commentator Rina Shah. Rina, thanks so much for speaking to us. What a time to be in DC and to see all of this play out in real time. And it's difficult to downplay this leak. What's your take on how security officials and the president himself are handling it? Because right now it seems like they're trying to deflect and attack.
The multiple angles through which the story is being viewed is probably what's most interesting here, because it is the most shocking story out of this first 100 days of Trump. When we look at why we are where we are, it's because the very first reaction from Secretary of Defense Hegseth, as well as National Security Advisor Waltz, was to lie and to defame the journalists. Now, as of this morning, Americans can see the very classified information that was in that group chat, despite numerous assurances right now from Tulsi Gabbard, who sits there before a House panel saying that there was no classified information. This is the type of story which is not just he said, she said, but very plainly with facts now we can see what is what. And so the story continues to have legs, but it is still very much being viewed through a partisan lens.
And you speak there about the U.S. public being able to see this. What do you make of the reaction from the public so far, especially those who voted for Trump and put their trust in these security advisors?
There are people within the MAGA faction of the party and good Republicans too on Capitol Hill that are fuming right now. They feel that Hegseth and Waltz should pay the consequences, be fired, in other words, for this incompetence. Because what this was with the swipe of a finger, whether it was a junior staffer who did it from Mike Waltz's phone, or whether it was Mike Waltz himself. There was a reason journalist Jeffrey Goldberg was added to this group chat. There was no nefarious act here by an outside partisan source. This is very, again, clear, given the technology, that these were our highest level ranked officials of our national security apparatus having very sensitive conversations over a chat that wasn't secure, about matters that are routinely discussed in what are called SCIFs. Those are secure areas that are set up sometimes even in the homes of administration officials when security matters need to be discussed. So there are, again, different people with differing views, but there are Republicans who believe that this doesn't reflect this reflects poorly. This doesn't reflect well on President Trump, and he would be better off to let these people go.
When you speak about the reflection on Donald Trump, let's also look at the broader geopolitical issues here, because in that text chain, it speaks to how many of those officials feel about European allies and the defense that they believe the US is helping Europe with. And I'm putting that in a very nice way compared to some of those text messages. And I would imagine that European allies are certainly not happy with this, because much of what was said in that text are some of the things people like the vice president have vocalized to European allies.
Look, I can't recall in the past 15 years this level of American military operations being pushed out to the American public like this, or being revealed in this way. This kind of stuff just doesn't make its way to the eyes of average Americans. And now anybody in the world can see this. So our adversaries are certainly excited. American adversaries get a look at American hard power, if you will. America has been known for soft power efforts. As many will recall, we just saw the elimination broadly of the U.S. Agency for International Development. That was our soft power apparatus. That no longer exists. So I do believe that Russia and China in particular are looking at this and saying, wow, the United States looks very vulnerable. That has serious geopolitical implications beyond just what the vice president may be saying about Europe or other national security officials may be saying. I think the broader takeaway is that we have a group of folks at our highest level who don't have respect for norms, and that does not serve the president well. And so the president is the final call here. With all matters of war, it is just the commander in chief, again, our president of the United States, and Congress. These kinds of matters don't typically get decided by our agency heads. This was
Hmm.
tactical, operational stuff that was discussed in a chat, and that kind of stuff truly never makes its way out. So we will have to see the implications in the weeks and months to come. But right now, we're sitting in a moment where this is really no good and leaves the United States very vulnerable
Hmm.
to the actions of our adversaries.
Be very interesting to see the implications, as you say, in the next few months. Geopolitical advisor Rina Shah, thank you very much.
Thank you.